Are you guys looking for a couples coach with plenty of window coverage, full-size appliances, and a great bathroom layout? Come take a tour with us.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Scout.
And this is the 2026 Paradigm 340 RL. Scout, what are some of the specs on this thing?
Yeah, the Paradigm 340 is coming in at an overall length of 37 feet 10 inches, has a dry weight of 14,000 pounds, and a GVWR of 16,500 pounds.
All right, let's go ahead and take a tour inside first. All right, now that we've taken a step inside, the flow of this floor plan is fantastic. Starting in the back here, you're gonna have that rear living space that is really designed to entertain. You got that sleeper sofa in the back with those theater seats across, large kitchen with residential appliances, and then why don't you take the front half of the couch?
Yeah, so the unique thing is you have entryway into the left side of the coach, so you get a little bit more privacy into the bedroom and bathroom. In that bathroom, you're gonna have a 60-inch residential shower, a linen closet, and then going up, you have a king-size bed with stackable washer dryer prep and a full-size closet.
All right, let's go ahead and start in the living space next.
Starting in the living area, you're gonna have a great entertainment area. You're gonna have a 55-inch smart TV with a built-in Roku stick. Underneath that is going to be your JBL sound system with pull-out mantle hidden storage. Then underneath that is gonna be a 5,000 BTU electric fireplace. And finally, you have a hidden pantry behind the entertainment wall. Moving across from the entertainment center is gonna be your powered recliner system. You have 2 powered recliners as well as built-in cup holders on the left and right-hand arm. We call this our hide and sip. So you're getting 2 additional cup holders on both sides. Additionally, you're gonna have a sleeper sofa and a couch where you can accommodate more people for sleeping with storage on both sides. And now let's pass it on to Joe and talk about the kitchen next.
Now let's talk about my favorite spot, the kitchen. In here, you're gonna have residential appliances, that 30-inch residential microwave, 4-burner cooktop stove with a deep turkey-tested oven. And then across from that, you're gonna have a large kitchen island with plenty of space on it, and there's tons of features in here. You're gonna have a pull-out trash can, a deep stainless steel sink, and all your drawers are gonna be birch glazed hardwood to minimize those splinters that you would have in some of the other coaches. And then behind me, you're gonna have that 19 cubic foot, 12-volt refrigerator. And then best of all, across from the kitchen, you're gonna have that dinette space. That is set up so you have eat mode, so you can have 4 people there comfortably with the ottoman, or you can rotate it so that you can have it in work mode, so that way you can enjoy the beautiful view out those atrium windows. And then finally, when you step into the entrance, you're gonna have that flex space for storage, and you're gonna have the beautiful hutch area for that morning cup of joe. Scout, why don't you take them up front, talk about the bathroom and bedroom next.
All right, now we're gonna talk about the bathroom space in this Paradigm 340 RL. One of the fan favorites is the entranceway is on the left-hand side, so you are getting that additional privacy. One of those frequently asked questions on this Paradigm 340 is, what do I have access to when the slides are closed? You actually have access to the right-hand side of the refrigerator as well as the bathroom up top. All right, now that we're going into the bathroom space, a few things I'd like to point out. One is gonna be the 61-inch residential shower. So you get a full shower with that hidden teak seat, and it's a drop shower, so you're getting additional height without having to be in the skylight for those taller customers. Then across from that, you're gonna have your porcelain toilet with the soft close toilet lid, solid surface countertops in the bathroom with a stainless steel sink and plenty of storage. Not only do you have the medicine cabinet, but you have a full linen closet in this bathroom space. Now let's move up to the bedroom and talk about that next. All right, in the bedroom space, you're gonna have your king size bed. It's an RV king with nightstands on both sides, as well as CPAP friendly underneath that bed. Additionally, you're gonna have your full-size dresser with 8 pull-out drawers with a smart TV up top and a dedicated bench in this bedroom to put your shoes and socks on in the morning. And behind me, new for 2026, is our closet redesign. You're gonna have solid surface countertops in this closet with a full hanging rod and pull-out drawers, as well as stackable washer dryer prep right next to that for an easy location to add that washer dryer. Now let's catch up with Joe and talk about the creature comforts here at Alliance.
All right, let's talk about that North Star here at Alliance RV, those customer-driven features developed by you guys that we implemented into the product. Starting off, it's gotta be those Furrion chill cubes. You know, they have the varying speed compressors on there. They have the remotes with the follow me mode so you can keep the temperature throughout this coach. Just a highly requested feature from you guys that we are implementing now into the Paradigm brand. And then additionally, you're gonna have those flush floor slides, so no awkward toe steps. And then my favorite thing has to be that we are warranted for full-time RVing. So giving you guys the ultimate camping experience there.
Yeah, so some of my favorite features is gonna be a new feature for 26, which is our 12-volt ceiling fan that actually runs off of the solar package, keeps this unit cooler without having to be powered in at all times. Another great feature is gonna be our atrium window system. So you have full window coverage throughout this entire coach, larger windows with larger openings. You're getting 50% more airflow in an Alliance RV. And that is also included with day and night shades in the living room space.
All right, those are great features. Now let's head outside and talk about all the great exterior features next. All right, Scout, so now let's talk about one of the most important features. How's this thing built?
Yeah, so starting from the roof all the way down, it's gonna start with a PVC roof covering. The PVC has a lifetime warranty on it. It's patch repairable, so if you had an incident, you can actually patch repair it rather than replacing the entire roof, as well as it's 80% more solar reflective, so it keeps the unit a lot cooler, doesn't work your ACs as hard, and that's why it's used in a lot of commercial buildings. Next is gonna be our aluminum superstructure in our walls. Connected to that aluminum superstructure is going to be a high gloss fiberglass on the outside that is laminated to composite material. Not only are we using the composites on the outside layer of the wall, but the inside layer of the wall is also composite. So that's going to save you from delamination, water intrusion, rotting and molding, and it also carries 2 times the insulation value for every layer that we use here at Alliance. And lastly is going to be our frame construction. It is the Benchmark chassis, which was designed by Alliance with engineers at Lippert. It's a 101-inch wide body chassis. It has a full steel cage underneath your fresh water tank, so you don't have to be worried about carrying that fresh water. It does get heavy going back and forth when you're driving down some of these roads, as well as the Space Saver upper front deck maximizes the overall width all up in your bedroom space with no awkward step-ups. Now, Joe, do you want to talk about that running gear?
Let's talk about that performance running gear where the rubber meets the road. You're gonna have those 8K axles with the TCS suspension system, the touring coil suspension. That's going to reduce vibrations by about 50% in there. You're also gonna have H-rated tires with those counteract balancing beads to help keep the tires balanced. And last of all, you're gonna have ABS to give you more safety on the road. And you're gonna have that Helix pin box up front, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. Scout, why don't you talk about the pass-through storage next?
Now that we're in the exterior of the coach, let's feature a few outdoor features you have here. So it's going to be your water spray port system right next to the door where you can spray off the steps, but this is also going to be temperature controlled, and we'll talk about the other one on the other side in a little bit. Additionally, you're gonna have an LP quick connect under here to hook up any of your gas grills. And then into your pass-through storage, this is a drop frame construction. You're getting over 30% more storage height with this drop frame. Plenty of space for all of your storage, especially, being a full-timer, you need all the extra space. Additionally, in here, you're gonna have your slide and awning switches. We don't use any of the touch pads here at Alliance. You have these 3-way switches where you can control the slides and awnings from the inside or outside of the coach. Next, you're gonna have your cable connections. You can hook up a TV, create a full outdoor entertainment area out here, as well as Starlink prep. So you have a port in the inside of the coach, that is for your router and modem. In the outside, it's gonna be for your antenna. So 2 easy locations for 2026, we've added this Starlink prep. And then lastly is going to be your awning control. So you have your awning lights above, but due to customer feedback, we put those on a dimmer switch so you're not bothering your neighbors at night. Now let's move to the front of the coach and talk about some of those features next.
Moving to the front of the Paradigm, you're gonna have that automotive painted fiberglass front cap with those inset LED diffused lights. And then below that, you're gonna have that Kurt Helix pin box, which is gonna reduce vibrations in the coach by about 30%, really mimicking the TCS that's on the suspension. Scout, why don't you talk about underneath the pin box next?
Yeah, so underneath the pin box, you're gonna have 3 dedicated storage areas. So on the bottom left-hand side, it's going to be either prepped at the dealership. It's a factory option for the NPS 6000 LP generator. On the bottom right-hand corner is going to be your battery bank, where you can add either lead acid or lithium batteries, totally up to you. Additionally, in that bottom right corner, all of our Paradigms for 2026 are inverter prepped. It's prepped for up to a 3,000 watt inverter. All of your outlets in the entire coach are going to be hot at that point. And additionally, you're getting all of the extra storage on top. That's a great spot for your camp chairs, tools, accessories, you name it. You're normally not getting all of this storage space, and you have to play the Tetris game with other brands out there. Additionally, in that storage space, you're gonna have your hydraulic pump for your rack and pinion hydraulic slides, as well as your 6-point leveling system. And lastly is going to be your 30 amp Victron charge controller in that pass-through area with a 400 watt solar panel already connected to the roof.
Moving to the off-camp side, let's talk about an underrated feature, your hydraulic leveling system and the positioning of it. A lot of other brands will put it inside their pass-through storage, so it's hard to see when you're hitching and unhitching your truck. We put it right here, so it's very convenient and easy. Additionally, you're gonna have a 30-pound propane tank that can be upgraded to 40-pound, so you can have 60 or 80 pounds of propane. And above me, you're gonna have a composite material on your slide decking, so that way it's just more convenient and gives you an elevated camping experience. Scout, why don't you talk about the pass-through storage next?
All right, now we're on the off-door side of this pass-through storage. First, you can take a look at all of the extra storage on this side, but moving on to your convenience bay, new for 2026 is our Blue Tech water filtration system. This is a carbon stainless steel water filter that's filtering all of your incoming water. Next is going to be our hot and cold spray ports. We talked a little bit about it before. We have one right next to the entryway. Well, now you have one on your off-door side, and you have those temperature control models where you can make it hot or cold, coming directly off of your water heater. Next is going to be our water manifold system. You have PEX plumbing throughout this entire coach. You have water shutoff valves underneath the sink, the toilet, all your major plumbing locations, but you also have this water manifold system, which is a direct feed where you can isolate the entire water system on this coach. And we all know water leaks are a problem. You can continue camping and get it fixed up later. Next, we're going to talk about the electric gate valves. So instead of having the manual pull, you have these electric gate valves, touch of a button to open up all of your black and gray tanks. And there's a manual override underneath our underbelly where you can access that in case anything did happen in that case. Next, we're going to talk about the slide out controls on the off-door side of this coach. So you can open and operate those slides, especially on this side because that's where the power pole always is. You don't have to play that walkie-talkie game no longer. And lastly, we give you easy access to all of your plumbing and wiring needs.
Before we head to the back, Scout, let's talk about a very underrated feature that a lot of other brands won't talk about. You're gonna have one termination point. So you're not gonna have multiple stinky slinkings you have to connect together. You're just gonna have one here on this 340RL. And then additionally, you're gonna have a 40,000 BTU furnace that's gonna heat the inside and the underbelly, keeping your tanks warm. And last of all, you're gonna have that 12-gallon gas electric water heater. Now let's head to the back. All right, let's talk about the back wall. It might look ordinary, but it's far from that. Starting at the top, you're gonna notice that little black puck. What that is your 12-volt backup camera prep system that allows you to use any camera of your choice. And then you're gonna have an aluminum ladder that's rated for up to 300 pounds. And lastly, you're gonna have that 300-pound rated accessory hitch so you can bring mountain bikes or anything else on your adventures. Now, Scout, why don't you go back to the campsite and talk about a few additional features.
All right, there's a few additional features we want to talk about the camp side of this coach, one being the oversized awnings. You have an oversized awning on this slide with a new Fusion LED light system up top that is dimmable, as well as this oversized awning going directly over your campsite. Additionally, you're gonna have key to like on all of your baggage doors and entry doors. You have the Moride safety rail for extra convenience going up these steps, and we're using the Moride step above system that are all assisted when bringing it in. And lastly, a few other things the Paradigm is prepped for is going to be slide toppers on all of your slides. Gives you extra convenience where you don't get the acorns, debris on top of those slides. And lastly, we've started prepping for tire pressure monitoring system. It's through the TST brand. We give you a QR code in your pass-through storage that you can scan, order the additional parts to finish the installation for additional safety. Now let's catch up with Joe and tell you where you can learn a little bit more about this floor plan.
Everybody, thanks for taking a tour of the 2026 Paradigm 340RL. Scout, how can they learn more about this floor plan?
Yeah, feel free to visit alliancerv.com to get more information on this. How can they follow us on social media channels, Joe?
Absolutely. Go to any social of your choosing and search @AllianceRV to see behind the scenes and more stuff that we got going on. Everybody, thanks again for watching, and we hope that you choose to join the Alliance.
See you next time. Going to be a pull-out hidden storage section.
You have a mantle with.
We're gonna have a king-size bed, 70.
Let's talk with the little. Yeah, Scout, the performance. 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, before we get 100-watt solar panel connected on the roof with your.